Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. When you see me on the screen, just know that today is Thursday. You're watching Economic Briefcase on Camnet TV. Today we have a lot of things to discuss with you. Wonderful topic. But let me go to my co-host, Mr. Japao. How has been the week?
The week has been good. Been short 4 days.
The week has
4 working days.
has been short. And because the week has been short, I think we'll spend a little bit more time with you discussing a very, very important topic. Today we are looking at national economic development, a public health perspective. So we're basically trying to link national economic development to public health and the health sector in particular.
Right.
In Zambia, we have only one public health specialist. That is very prominent. I've qualified my statement. And that is the person that we are hosting today. You all know him. He needs no introduction, but for those that are watching TV for the first time or those that don't follow current affairs, we are going to give you a chance to, to be introduced to this person. Today's guest is somebody very famous. Everybody knows his various sayings. This is a Christian channel. We are not going to say them today. And this is Dr. CANISIUS. Dr. CANISIUS, how are you?
Very well, peaceful, smiling. Thankful to God for this life that we have.
Nice hosting you. I knew you from the Reds time.
Yeah.
I think I sent you a WhatsApp sometime.
Right.
I think you replied. Yes.
What did I say?
I don't know. It was a long time. It was 2015.
But it shows that we are contributing to this country.
Exactly.
Through and through, regardless of the platform.
Of the platform, yeah. Yes.
We have to continue to do right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for accepting to come to our program.
Thank you.
Especially at short notice.
Thank you for hosting me.
Thank
you for hosting me.
Yes. So, dear viewers and those watching us on Camnet TV, those watching us on YouTube or Facebook, we'll quickly go to our market segment. Let's look at what is in the markets. Mr. Japao.
Okay, so the market update for today, the 14th of April, 2022. So as always, we start with the exchange rate for today, with the exchange rate for the quarter with the major currency against the major currencies. So the dollar today closed off selling at 17 kwacha, 44 ngwe. The pound, 22 kwacha, 82 ngwe. The euro, 18 kwacha, 87 ngwe. The rand, 1 kwacha, 19 ngwe. Then we move on to the LME prices, delayed by a day. Aluminium closed off trading at $3,236 per ton. That's a downward movement of 0.95%. Copper closed off selling at 10,299. That's a downward movement of 0.42. Zinc closed off selling at $4,461.50. That's an upward adjustment of 1.95. Lead closed off selling at $2,432.50. That's an upward movement of 1.59%. Tin closed off selling at $43,324. Upward movement of 1.24%. Nickel closed off selling at $32,980. That's an upward movement of 1.52. Then our crude oil prices, we've seen them adjust upwards a little bit. WTI crude closed off selling at 105 per barrel. That's an upward movement. From yesterday, that's an upward movement of 0.68%. Brent crude closed off selling at $109.07. That's an upward movement of 0.87%. That's all we had for you for the market updates today.
We've seen the markets. Of course, we haven't shown the dynamics in terms of food prices. We want to give it 2 weeks,
yes.
But at least we can do proper movements of what was there last week compared to next week. But what is your take? The fuel prices are going up again.
The fuel prices are going up again. It seems the intervention that was there last week hasn't yielded any results. We see it going up. Well, there's something else that this is actually going to affect. We know we have a small manufacturing industry in our country, and if we see the oil prices go up, we're going to see a slowdown in our production.
Yeah.
Yes, and with time, we'll see our GDP also begin to
dwindle,
to decline.
Yeah.
Dr. Banda, straight into the program.
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
You are a lecturer. You are a public health specialist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, medical doctor.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know you, who is Dr. Banda?
Well, Dr. Banda is a human being, just like, you know, a black human being. Born in Mandevu compound, just near here. I was at Mutambe Primary School, and there was a times were hard in the family. We were living in a shack, you know, roofing sheets everywhere, you know, sides on top, and just sleeping on the floor. And the rats in the night would come and feast on my feet. In the morning, I would have to walk to school without shoes on and all that. Mutambe Primary School, Kamwala Secondary School, David Kaunda Technical School, University of Zambia, then Japan. So along the way, I became a bachelor of human biology. I became a bachelor of medicine, a bachelor of surgery, and a master of public health. I studied international health in Japan. That's over 15 years ago. And yes, I am registered with the Health Professions Council of Zambia as a public health specialist. And I'm one of the founders of the public health course at the University of Lusaka. And I've been teaching this course for the past 10 years at that university.
Wow, I would love to sit in your class. You know, when you are speaking, like a person wants to listen to.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
What of the practice? Do you still practice medicine?
Yes, every day. Once a doctor.
Always a doctor.
Always a doctor. So I do house calls, and people call me. They consult with me. And more often than not, I help them free of charge. The lawyers would say pro bono services. I do that. So I practice my medicine. And somebody was asking me the other day, why, you know, into politics? It's the same thing. You diagnose the problem, you prescribe a solution, and you heal the patient. So for example, in this case, we have a very ill patient called Zambia. And look at what Noah was saying a short while ago. The price of tin, the price of cobalt, the price of nickel. And these minerals, they are worth more than copper. And all of them, we've got them here. We have gold, we have copper, we have all these. And we're a very small population. But as we will discuss further, you know, the linkage between the economy and the health of citizens. So what is the problem? A doctor will ask and make a diagnosis. And I will tell you, Dr. Habazoka, that the problem is leadership. So if we get it right at that level, and we look after this flock properly, the people of Zambia, whose country this one is, you know, it's theirs. It's their country. If we get the shepherds right, they shepherd the flock, everybody will beat poverty. You know, the quality of life as well as the quantity, the life expectancy, both will be of the required kind.
So here is Dr. Banda.
Yes.
He comes back from Japan.
Yeah.
Master's degree.
Yeah. Public health.
Public health.
Yeah.
You know, Japan is an advanced country.
It is, yes.
In that. Yeah. Then I'm watching one day,
yeah,
press conference, secretariat. you were announced as vice president.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it was.
Of the UPND.
Of the UPND,
Yeah.
yes.
I became vice president of the UPND nearly a decade later, after becoming a master of public health. I served in the civil service for a long time, nearly 2 decades. And then people would come to my office from Mandevu compound, and they would say, doctor, Bwanji osaimirira. You know, Bwirani kwa Mandevu, you are the people we rely upon. You know, you are a luminary, you are an example, and we are proud of you. Come and lead us. I made that decision in 2011. I resigned. I said, look, it's these same people who are calling for my leadership that educated me. So the least I can do is to pay back. After all, there's an inscription at the University of Zambia there that whoever passes through this institution should be aware that it was built by poor people. They donated goats and chickens and all that. They themselves not educated, but they wanted their children to be educated. And whoever passes through this facility should go on to save passionately and diligently the Republic of Zambia. So, remembering those ways, I resigned from the civil service and went to stand as for Parliament in Mandevu, in 2011, that is. That's a story for another day. I remained in the MMD. I later became the chairman.
So when you stood in 2011, you were in MMD?
I was in MMD, yes.
Okay.
Resigned from the civil service,
yes.
joined MMD, stood Mandevu candidate, 2011 elections. I'm saying that's a story for another day because there were controversies at that time. Controversies never seem to go away. Between 2011 and 2013, I was in the National Executive Committee of the MMD. And I remember, you know, the president then was Dr. Nevas Mumba.
Oh, yes.
And he was embattled. You know, there were people in the party that wanted him off the seat of the presidency. They said, no, he was masquerading. He was president of the NCC,
yes.
and not MMD. Yeah, you should ask Dr. Mumba. In one of the National Executive Committee meetings, I rose and defended his case that he is the president of the party. And after I spoke, nobody spoke against him, ever. And he has remained president of the MMD. 2013, the UPND came. They said, we would like you to be the vice president for politics. I said, hey, hang on a minute. Go to Western, go to Southern, go to Northern, go to Eastern. Go and search again. And if the people out there still tell you that I should be a vice president for politics, come back, you will find me. They were hurt. They said, Dr. Chimene Mukamba, Nchamene Tachitakare, we have consulted countrywide and everybody is saying you should be the vice president. I said, well and good, let me now consult my family, let me consult President Rupia Banda, you know, yes, being a father of the MMD and in the MMD. Let me consult President Mumba. And,
by then, the other vice president was Honorable Kapita.
Richard Kapita,
yes,
yes. He was for administration.
Yes, for administration.
Yeah, so for politics, there was a vacancy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I became vice president for politics. And in 2011, the UPND were third. And from 2011 to the end of 2014, I remember we lost
by 27,000.
We lost our Republican president.
Yes, Michael Schuster.
Yes, President Sata. So we had that by-election. So as we were heading towards the by-election, the UPND were the most popular party in Zambia. Now you can imagine from third to becoming the most popular. Now you do an audit. What events happened in the party that led to that movement in popularity? Key amongst many was the appointment of Dr. CANISIUS BANDA as the Vice President for Politics. In 2011, to illustrate what I'm telling you, the UPND got only 11,000 votes in the Eastern Province, as an example.
Yes.
In 2015, on the 20th, was it 20th of January?
20th,
21st, yes, yeah, thereabouts, we had that election.
Yes.
The number was trebled within that short space of time. I played my role in marketing the UPND, in marketing Hakainde Hichilema. It's a matter of history now. I stayed even after we lost in 2015, stayed in the party. Yes. Richard left.
Yes.
Yeah, I stayed. So we were just the two of us for quite a while. Hakainde president, CANISIUS BANDA vice president. And that time, after we lost, Geoffrey had issues.
Yes.
He was going to court. I would organize my UPND members, youths, to offer solidarity to him at the courts. And people within the UPND, certain senior members, they accused me of trying to destabilize the party, you know, to get members from the UPND to PF. No, we were working on Geoffrey, softening him, turning him into a friend, into one of us. And eventually, he came to the UPND and became vice president for administration, the vacancy which had been left by Richard. You follow?
I'm following.
And then we were heading towards 2016. The constitution was changed. There was the running mates.
Yes.
And I think...
And you became a pilgrim.
Well, I have always been a pilgrim. You know, a pilgrim is a person who occasions good in the lives of others.
Yes.
Builds bridges, touches lives, emits light and all that. You know, life premised on the Spirit of God. That's a pilgrim. And we come and we go. We are always there. But we come and we go. Yeah, so Hichilema thought CANISIUS has been with us for quite a while. So we have gotten the Eastern Province. He is from Southern Province. But there's another key block which is remaining. That's how I suffered. That's how he settled for him to get the vote from the Northern Bloc. Without Geoffrey Mwamba and CANISIUS BANDA, Hakainde Hichilema would not be president today. It's because of these two key voting blocks that he became president, the Northern Bloc and the Eastern Bloc. When Geoffrey was picked, the same day, you know, and Hakainde did not even have the courtesy to call me and say, look, I won't pick you, I'll pick this guy, and don't worry, you know, here is the internal arrangement. I discovered the running mate at the Mulungushi Conference Center. I even carried my documents, thinking it could be me. Imagine that, no. But it wasn't me. And I took it in quite well. Just outside, we had a rally there. We addressed our members. And I said, let it be recorded that today, this day, when Hakainde has picked Geoffrey, I, CANISIUS BANDA, put my hand on them, I bless them. and may the good Lord be with them. I will support the two of them. And I campaigned for them. I stayed. Something which stunned Hakainde Hichilema. Yeah, because when we were in Chawama compound at a rally there, he spent a minute talking about me in front of the world. He said, Dr. Banda, your behavior is amazing. Had it been somebody else in your shoes, they would have left us. But here you are on this platform, still with us, campaigning for the party and me and Geoffrey. I want these people to know that you have been appointed already in my cabinet.
Yes, I remember that.
You remember?
Yes.
Yes. How kind of say those words. But then we lost. And then later on, the witch hunt began within the party. You know, they started saying Dr. Banda is a Moor. Dr. Edgar Lungu's Moor in the UPND. Remember, I went to the UPND when President Sata was president.
President, yes.
Yeah. How could I have been Dr. Lungu's Moor? You understand me?
Yes.
You know, he meets with us here, and in the night, he goes to State House to debrief, you know, to tell on us. I never did that, Dr. Hamazoka. I never did that. God is my witness. But Hakainde got Easterners, William Banda, Michael Chuzu, you know, Tole, they're Easterners, certain Lungu, and he took them to movie television, he took them to Radio Phoenix, paying for my blood. Expel Dr. Banda from the party, expelling an innocent man. Then he wrote a letter of suspension, which he first gave the press, and not me. He didn't have even the courtesy to call me and say, we think you have committed a sin here. Explain. He didn't do that. It's members of the press now that came to me and say, Doctor, you've been suspended. I said, look, where is the letter? They said, we have it. I said, no, I don't have it. Me, I'm expecting a letter of gratitude. I'm expecting a letter of gratitude. But he's giving me this. And then I said, look, I mean, we are pilgrims. We travel through space and time. And
so why were you suspended?
Yeah, platforms for work will vary over time, but our work remains constant.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I was suspended for misconduct. You know, the same suspicions that I was a Moor. And I remember there was a time, I think Geoffrey said, our 2021 candidate is Hakainde Hichilema. Just after we lost in 2016. Then me, I issued a statement publicly. I said, no, he can't say that, because the National Management Committee has to deliberate over this. So this is ultra vires. So my language was not the which was required at the time. But the chief accusation was that I was a spy for the PF, for Dr. Lungu. And Dr. Lungu is my witness. I didn't go to State House to talk to him. I never did. God is my witness. Those people hounded out an innocent man, the very fuel that led them to victory in 2021. You understand me? But I left. I said, hey, look, God is with me, and we'll continue to save Zambia. And here we are, serving it.
So what led you to join the Patriotic Front right after
oh yes, President Lungu came to me, and you know, we had a chat, and he asked for my help, that I should be criticizing him, you know, even before he does something, I should warn him that don't put your foot there. Don't do that. If he does something wrong, I should say you have done something wrong.
An advisor of some sort.
Private advisor. And that's the role I played from 2016 to 2021. And trust me, if Dr. Lungu had followed all my pieces of advice, the PF would still be in power today. But an advisor advises, and his job ends there. Yeah.
So never followed your advice?
Well, in some cases it happened, in other cases perhaps it didn't happen. So for example, just as an example, Zambia is an agriculture country besides mining.
Yes.
Okay? And we are seeking to diversify the economy. There was a time I put up an argument that, look, California, the state of California, the economy of the state of California is bigger than that of Italy. Right. And it's vibrant. And one of the reasons why the economy of California is vibrant is because of one cash crop, cannabis. So why don't we decriminalize cannabis? Why don't we begin, as a pilot, begin to grow cannabis for export? You understand?
Yes.
And the laws changed under President Lungu and the PF. We can now grow cannabis and export. And for example, Hakainde Hichilema, he says he got 60 plus million kwacha from somewhere and he gave it to the students. You heard that story.
Yes.
He shouldn't have done that. He should have given that money to the Zambia National Service as seed money to grow cannabis. In 6 months, in 12 months' time, tons of cannabis would have been harvested and exported and would have made millions of dollars. A sustainable way of helping not only University of Zambia students, but the educational sector in general. You understand me?
I understand.
So advice is given and sometimes taken and sometimes not taken.
Public health and national economic development.
Yes.
What is the relationship?
It's a big one. It's a big one. There are things called social determinants of health. For example, water, access to clean and safe water. For example, nutrition. For example, education, employment, housing, religion, and things like that. Now, in any community, when a government takes care of these, the health of the population improves. For example, water, key component in sanitation.
Yes.
Yeah. The coverage of clean and safe water in Zambia is poor. It's not 100%. Water is life. Everybody should have access to water. But not all Zambians have access to clean and safe water. And just a few days ago, we were told that cholera had broken out.
2022.
Yeah, in 2022, under the watch of the UPND. Now, in Lusaka, cholera used to be a problem of George compound. But then the Japanese, the people that educated me, that turned me into a master of public health, they came and said, we can help you. Because we used to have cholera in Japan. But we gave clean and safe water to all the households, and these diarrheal diseases disappeared. And the expenditure on health reduced. Savings on the income side, you save on the expenditure side, it translates into income, which you can then spend on other things as a government. They put up towers there in George Compound. When you go to George Compound, you will see JICA towers, water tanks there in George. You see? And ever since they did that, cholera disappeared from George compound. Lives have been saved. People in George compound used to die from cholera. There's now cholera in Kalingalinga here. Maybe the Japanese should go to Kalingalinga now.
Is it normal that when you're looking, I've understood a bit what public health is.
Right.
Is it normal that Lusaka and Water and Storage Company is not connecting new areas to the sewer system? Lusaka literally sits on boreholes.
It's not
capital city.
It's not normal. It's not normal. Because water in a city should be managed by a company like that. And it should be treated and given to the people like that. And by doing that, you promote health. You are getting rid of diarrheal diseases like cholera, typhoid, dysentery, which are a problem in Zambia. So it means that us here in Zambia, we are a dirty people. Poor water and sanitation. You understand me? And this partly explains why we rely so much on health facilities for survival. The morbidity rates, the volume of sick people at any given time in Zambia is high. You understand me? But if we got it right at clean and safe water, fewer people would go to health facilities. Even the quality, with the same investment in health facilities, the quality would improve because the pressure has lessened. You understand me? So water is key. And Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company should continue to service areas with clean and safe water. And the viewers out there, you know what they do? They have no faith in Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company. The same water which we get from the tap, they boil it.
Exactly.
So the bill is actually bigger than what they pay Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company. And at the same time, they're masking inefficiencies which might be at Lusaka Water, because you can't be piping contaminated water into homes. Tap water should be drinkable straight from the tap.
Yes.
You understand me? Yeah, so we need order in that area. The coverage of piped water, safe and clean water should go up in Zambia. 100%. All citizens should have access to water.
The only worry should be the levels of caution.
There you go. But to tell you the truth, the health security of Zambians would be attained.
So you
expenditure on health would reduce. Yes, you want to say something now.
So you said most Zambians rely on health facilities. So basically we have, I think, three levels. It's primary health care, secondary health care, and I think tertiary health care. And we see our Zambian population, in most of the time, we rely on tertiary health care because
because the primary level care is faulty, is flawed.
So people always rush to tertiary health care because of, well, the very reason that you've mentioned. So should we spend more on primary health care, or maybe before we spend more on primary health care?
Yes, we should spend more on preventive health care.
Preventive health
care,
right.
We should stop people from falling sick. When we catch them when they are sick, we are late. So I talked about water. Nutrition. You know, Zambia, Dr. Hawazoka, is ranked as one of the hungriest countries in the world. And SDG number 2 says fight hunger. There's a linkage between hunger, nutritional security, and disease. If you are malnourished, you will be immune deficient. And diseases of various kinds will attack you. Chances of developing HIV/AIDS if you're malnourished are high. Chances of developing tuberculosis are high. when you are malnourished. And here is a sad statistic. Nearly half of Zambia's under 5 children are stunted, partly to do with hunger. Stunting. Now, when you stunt as a child, you stunt physically, but also you stunt cognitively. Cognition. So when you are an adult and you stunted in childhood, your attention span is very short.
Maybe that's why we're having problems.
I didn't say that. Performance at anything is below par, and there is tendency towards violence for survival, as opposed to using the pain for survival. You use physical brute force to survive. Nutritional security. People should live on food and not pills. Now, if we get it right at nutritional security, again, the number of people going to clinics, going to hospitals will reduce. The burden of work for nurses, for doctors will reduce. Expenditure on health will reduce. So let's get it right. Water, nutrition, education, housing, employment. Employment translates into income. We should commend, for example, the previous government. They created thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs through infrastructural development. People are not paying attention out there. This current government is recruiting what, about 30,000?
Teachers, yes.
Teachers, and about 11,000 health workers. Recruitment is not creation. You can't recruit if you have not created. The UPND have not created those jobs. Actually, the jobs that are available, the vacancies, because of the clinics and schools built by the previous government, the PF, there are more than 30,000. There are more than 11,000. These 11 and 30, these are the ones they can manage to recruit, the income side of our budget permitting. You understand me?
Yes.
But he was talking about tin, cobalt, copper. You see, income side of our budget. Public health is about leadership and management. KCM, MCM, Mopani copper mines. You saw what the previous government did? They got them into our hands, people's hands, where they should be. Today, copper is trading at 10,000 US dollars a ton. But it's not Zambia which is making the money. It's First Quantum Minerals, the Canadians. It's not Zambians. But if KCM was in your hands, Mopani Copper Mines was in his hands, Noah's hands, and then we have foreigners as equity partners in those mines, the inflow of dollars would go up. And we would have the capacity to employ more than 30,000 teachers, more than 11,000, and the pupil-teacher ratio would be the required type. The patient-doctor ratio or nurse ratio would be of the required type. But today, healthcare quality is poor because these ratios are poor. Today, educational quality is poor because one teacher has perhaps 100 pupils. How do you teach like that? And you know, our children are crucial. The first 7 years of a child's life is crucial for teaching. So early childhood learning is vital because that's when the life of any child is programmed into that.
So the early stages people should eat very well.
Correct.
No stunting.
No stunting.
Otherwise, violence
Will
and
low attention span, short attention span,
Yes.
poor performance will ensue.
then teaching should be at that same level.
Correct, yes. You, as Dr. Habazoka, you should actually be teaching at kindergarten level. The very best teachers, professors in art, language, music, counting, mathematics, and all that, these are the ones we should expose our children to.
Exactly.
That's what I think in the USA it's like that. People with PhDs are teaching.
Teaching in primary schools.
When you do that, you get it right. Fundo mwana, nelunga akota, takafunemo. That's the holy book. Train a child in the way that you want him to go. When he gets older, he shall not depart from it. So we need to have educational reforms in this country. The curriculum, for example, for our educational system creates employees. Instead of employing the knowledge that we acquire, we look for people to use us, to employ us. You see that? There is a problem there. We must use the knowledge. By the time you leave grade 7, you should be able to have a startup.
We have been independent since
SMEs,
1964.
yes.
Where are we getting it wrong?
Well,
You know, I went to, when you enter Kawe,
yes.
on the left,
Yeah.
there's this place. Is it not Makukuru? Makukuru is on the Copper Belt.
Right.
This one that is here, one of the largest
Compound.
compounds, yes, where I found what you're talking about, water.
I think it's
That-
Makukuru.
Makukuru, yes.
Yes.
There's a kiosk.
Yeah.
And that kiosk, in a day, it opens maybe 1 hour.
Yeah.
So how can you sell water for just 1 hour?
Yeah.
Then you find that how can people, they're stunting there, you can actually see it.
Yeah.
You ask, how old are you?
Yeah.
Me, I'm 12.
Yeah.
The person looks like they're 3 years.
The Zambia netball team, national netball team, took part in the World Cup. It was played in New Zealand. And Zambia played, should be the Netherlands. We lost the game. We played quite well, but we lost the game. And then the coach of the Dutch team was interviewed. What's your comment? And she didn't mean to offend. She was honest. You know, the Dutch are told.
Yes.
They were just getting the ball and putting it in the basket and all that. So she says, these Zambians are skilled players, but the problem with them is that they are small. She was hinting at what?
Stunting.
At stunting.
Same with our national team.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. I hear that no, our team, I hear that they're selling games. You didn't hear that?
No, actually.
Yes.
With the COVID-19
Yes.
pandemic, it
Yes.
exposed a lot of inadequacies in the healthcare system.
Yes.
And as well as disrupted supply food chain. And we noticed that, well, you spoke of poverty as a country. We are not self-sustainable
Yeah.
when it comes to our own food, growing our own food.
Yeah.
Industrializing our economy and so on. And we saw that have an effect on the economy. What would be a better way of planning for such an event in the future?
Very good, very good. You see, national security is a function of planning. And we must plan. You know, there's a food reserve agency. It should play its role. Food reserve. There should be an energy reserve agency. Energy reserves. You understand me?
Yes.
It's important that we do it like that. We need to get it right at income generation as a country. Okay? I can give you a simple example. Zambia is sufficient in wheat We've got wheat here. We don't get our wheat from Russia or Ukraine. But Namibia does, Mozambique does, Malawi does, the Congo does. But I haven't heard anybody say we should begin to export bread.
No, I heard them talking about DPP versus DEC both. That one I heard.
Yeah,
but
so perhaps
about which I didn't hear.
Yeah, so perhaps the focus is on fighting one another. Fighting one another will not develop Zambia. There is a war there, yes, but it's an opportunity for us to sell our copper. The copper price is likely to rise because the demand will go up for copper. Bullets, copper, you understand me? So let the copper mines be in our hands. Then when we sell the copper, the money will be here, not in foreigners' hands. You understand?
You're speaking of the copper mines being in our hands.
Yeah.
And we've seen that, well, how can we go about so that we make sure that those copper mines...
I'm coming to your question. Remember you're talking about COVID and how we can cope and all that. Are you happy with what I said?
Yes.
Oh, okay, continue. Continue.
So you spoke about copper and the copper mines being in our hands.
Yeah.
But it's just a question that bugged me because the international community says those are private or owned by private companies. And well, nationalizing them would be an uproar.
Yeah, but Gazprom has been seized by the UK. And they have given reasons why. Yes. It's a Russian-owned company. They have seized it.
So that's your Russian we can grab from you.
Yes. But
you know Putin, we can get your 7 billion.
Yeah, but you, as a Zambian, you are being stopped from owning these things. But we're not saying we should grab them. No.
How do we go about it?
Some of them that are already in foreign hands, we can increase our shareholding within those mines. You understand me?
Yes.
And the new ones, let them be in, you should be the CEO or a consortium of Zambians. Foreigners as equity partners. To run a company, all you need is a certificate in business administration. That's all.
That's true.
Also, the principles of business administration are the same wherever you go. You see, in the metallurgy department, you get a Zambian from the School of Mines. In the finance department, you can employ a Zambian of Indian origin. You know, I like to joke that, you see, going down now there to dig, we should send the British down there. Employ the British to go and dig the copper. It's all copper, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. You understand me? We should own these mines. The foreign companies, let's increase our shareholding there. Look, First Quantum Minerals accounts for over 40% of copper production in Zambia. It's just been ranked the 6th leading copper producer in the world, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. But it's in the hands of Canadians. And you should investigate the Zambian government, why they gave tax holidays to the mines. Because with that one policy shift, do you know what happened to the stock price of FQM? And that's how the ranking has come.
I see.
You see?
Yes.
Yes. They made so much money from that policy shift here in Zambia. So even if they maintain production at the same level, they've already made their money from the stock exchange there. You understand me? So you see, this current government should take it up from the previous one. Gold mining, Zambians only. Logging, Zambians only. Block making, Zambians only. Zambians first. And another example for growing the income side of our budget is Zanaco. You know Zanaco there? There is that shareholding with, is it Rabobank?
Rabobank, yes.
Yes. Look, For us to build the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, we borrowed money, didn't we?
We did.
Dollar International Airport, we borrowed money. This accounts for the 5.7 billion which we owe China. Yes. But why don't we convert the debt to equity? Okay, shareholding by Chinese companies. You understand me? As a way of paying the debt. Yes. We can give shares to those companies. The Kowloon International Airport in Hong Kong is one of the busiest airports in the world. Hong Kong, I've been to that airport.
Me too.
There you go.
Hong Kong is a
now that airport,
very pretty place.
yes, and that airport is in the hands of the Chinese. So the National Airports Corporation of Zambia can have an equity partner that runs that airport. So you settle the debt on one hand, a fraction of the debt. On the other hand, they are going to reroute aircraft from that airport. Instead of going to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport,
here because they are owned.
Of course. You understand me?
Exactly.
Yes. So this is how we can cope when there are shocks like COVID-19, when there are shocks like Russia-Ukraine war. And trust me, the Russia-Ukraine war will last years.
It looks so.
It's not going to end. I heard one government minister saying, unless global issues are sorted out, referring to the Russia-Ukraine war, Zambia's economy will not recover. They don't understand. Forgive her, for she doesn't know what she's talking. She's saying she's in the dark. That war will last a very long time. So you see, in the immediate term, we have these shocks. In the immediate term, what you want to do is you want to cushion the people from these shocks. You subsidize the people. America subsidizes its citizens. Britain does that. The European Union does that. Let us subsidize our people. You understand me? In the immediate term, we do that. Again, pay local contractors, dismantle the local debt. The local debt dismantling is a bigger priority than the international debt.
But we hear
you understand me?
Because they are PF.
Let us pay companies. These companies are companies registered in Zambia to do business here. You understand me? And they performed works. And these works were certified. The premise for giving them their money is there. Pay. Zambia, from August 2021 to date, has lost more jobs than it has created. Unfortunately, we don't even have a bureau to audit jobs created, jobs lost. But we've lost more jobs because the government is not paying the suppliers and contractors. Dismantle the local debt. What that will do, it will improve the credit flow in the economy.
Perhaps even cushion the effect of the
Cost.
fuel
Correct.
on the industry.
This is what I'm saying, Noah. You understand me? Yes.
A very interesting program. We're watching Economic Briefcase on Camnet TV.
Right.
We'll take a 1-2 minute break, short break, and when we come back, we are opening the phone lines. You can send us your messages on the number that is below the screen, and you can call us using the same numbers. See you very soon.
Camnet TV is becoming big and better. You can now watch Camnet TV wherever you are around the world, simply by downloading the Camnet TV app. With Camnet TV app, you only use less bundles. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
You're watching Economic Briefcase on Camnet TV. We are now opening the phone lines. You can call us on the numbers that are below the screen. When you call, strictly your name and where you're calling from and your contribution. Give time for other people to also contribute. You can also send us text messages on the numbers that are also below the screen. I'll ask the director if we have any messages so that we can start with the messages. Good evening, Doc. It looks like you and HH as individuals, you can still eat together. Your separation must have been engineered by some people without HH really wanting to lose you. Question: if HH called you to help him through an appointment, would you accept? This is towards you.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, Doc.
Right.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Banda. You are speaking so well. Don't you think of forming your own political party? Randolph Mwanza from Lusaka.
Yes.
Those were the two messages that we want. An appointment. Actually, I had that question.
Right.
I left it. You know, I said I'm going to ask at the end. It seems
Yes,
some people engineered it. I was also in the... I have a brief background of what was happening, and I also one of those that thought it was unfair.
Yeah, I still argue that Hakainde should bring a chicken, you know. He should come to Ibex Minwood there where I live and say, my friend, thank you for what you did. But national work, you know, comes first. You understand me?
We have a caller who will respond to the second one. Your name and where you're calling from? Hello, your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, Doc, and Dr. Banda, and the other gentleman.
Mr. Noah Japao.
Yes, good evening.
This is Chivas from Osaka.
Yes?
Yes, I just want to check the event that didn't get a result. Yes, I think he's invited quite a number of progressive activities in Kosovo and this moment. If only the current government can back the those are back for benefit our nation. I just want to visit the program. So, that's the one. So, thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you very much. So I was calling to appreciate the knowledge that you are imparting. The first one, appointment. You have said national
yeah, service comes first. Yeah.
Yes.
So let him send people to me, and you chat with them. They should tell me what role. Because you see, you might be a scorer. You're good. You're Lewandowski. You understand me? And then they want you to put you in goal. You know, to be a goalkeeper. That's misplacement of skills and competences. Yeah, so the answer is yes. I am available for national service. It's the poor people of this country that gave me this knowledge, this education. And they did it for a reason. They said, iwe mwana watu kakapunzira ukatitandize. You understand me? So today I'm saying, let us not sell Indeni. Let us not close it. That's a national security installation, Dr. Havazoka. You understand me?
Second phone call. Oh, that's what your thoughts. Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm trying.
Yes.
I'm trying.
You are? 5 pin?
Hello? I'm trying to call from
Yes, from Tazanga. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I congratulate the BANDA. The product will mandate. You are so well. You are still so in the BANDA. I think you are still so in the BANDA.
Thank you very much.
So, yeah. I still here for that.
Are you still what?
Allow me to finish asking, then we can answer. Tsirizanu funsa tiyanke. Okay, so let's firstly deal with these issues and then we can get more calls. So available for national service, but positioning is key. You understand me? That's important. And I was saying that, for example, speaking for the people, Indeni is a national security installation. Okay? Listen to this. Today, even as we speak now, the United States of America is buying Russian oil. Yes. Okay? The people there should know that. But here we are making useless noises. Here. Oh, the Russia-Ukraine war. Let's strategically position ourselves. India is buying oil from Russia and refining it. European countries are being told don't buy, but they're buying petrol and diesel from India. Yes. Refined from crude from
Russia.
From Russia. You understand me? And Russian crude today is affordable. The prices, yeah, it is cheaper. If Zambia bought crude from China, in a strategic sense, if you know what I'm talking about, in a bilateral kind of arrangement, it will flow in the Tazama pipeline to Indeni. All we need is $500 million to upgrade Indeni so that it can fractionate jet fuel, kerosene, diesel, petrol. Malawi doesn't have a refinery. We can export these refined petroleum products to the neighboring countries. You understand me? So why don't we find an equity partner to upgrade Indeni? Look, we want to build the Lusaka-Ndola road. Which one is more important? Upgrading Indeni or doing the Lusaka-Ndola carriageway? Indeni. Of course. Actually, the road is costlier than upgrading Indeni. So let us exhibit strategic thinking as a country. Because with Indeni there, then we can grow our energy reserves. And when we have shocks like these, look, America is releasing, for the next 6 months, they'll be releasing reserves to cushion their people. But where are Zambia's reserves? Dr. Havazoka, you laugh.
We don't have any.
There you go. So somebody says, from your own party, well, what he needs to know is that I am available for the leadership of the PF. Plan A is to lead the PF to a comeback. 2026, they should come back. You know, the PF, and I've come with these two things, you know. This is UPND, this is the PF. Yeah. All this is knowledge. Knowledge is not partisan. Yeah, but the best manifesto so far is this one. This is the best of all the manifestos that Zambia has. It's this one, which places emphasis on Zambians, ownership of the economy by citizens. Let's create, Dr. Habazoka, 1,000 US dollar millionaires in Zambia. Let us stop getting stunned when a Zambian has $200,000. You get shocked. Why you don't support?
Process of crime.
Yeah, you understand me. You have $1 million. Ananga, you see, I heard somebody the other day, the speaker declared $22 million. And some people are reporting her to the Anti-Corruption Commission. Where did you get the money from? No. Let's create.
But is this not where we started clubbing each other?
Let's create. Yeah. Let's focus on wealth creation. Let us have thousands of Zambians US dollar millionaires. Then the GDP per capita will improve. Then poverty will end. And Zambia has all the ingredients to end poverty. Here. You understand?
Yes, I know a lot of people are trying to call. Yes, sir, your name and where you're calling from?
But we should manage them.
Yes, I will. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
We can
Yes,
hear
we can
you.
hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Are you
Yes,
still...
so, yeah, PF, yes.
Yes.
Somebody was asking, are you still PF? Yes, I am. And of all the candidates vying for the presidency, I think I'm the best. Yeah, I think I'm, the most experienced. There's no one in there who has reached the level of a vice president in any political party. You understand me? And me, I was deputy to the incumbent Republican president. You understand me? Education is there. I haven't stolen a single way from the state. The government of Zambia has been stealing from me.
We need to go and search them tomorrow.
even as recently as a few months ago, under the watch of Hakainde. Remember Hakainde told us that government procurements will be right price,
Yes.
quality, delivery on time, and all that, you remember?
Yes.
But they bought fertilizer, which was overpriced. That is defrauding
You know, Manuel,
citizens. You understand? Yes. That's the government stealing from me.
Twalikwata imimana, twalikwata amarangi, twalikwata amamayinzi, bajeje tuchulira nishi, gusha nishi bonsa abantu abawamu mudefo, tapani nshirayo wanga mshiraya yukuchuisha wendwefu yapani mshitawawelera kopanchi. Because if they want to so far to be there, you got not to move on the journey. So, I don't know how I get that. I don't know how we know, but I don't know what I don't know, but I never much better there. They might push us in quite much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you see, so the problem now is that Hakainde Hichilema has abandoned his original plan. He had his own original thinking before the elections. I will sell the jet, the kwacha will appreciate, stabilize to below 10 kwacha, by a certain time, 50 kwacha meal, 250. Actually, he said fertilizer maximum will be 250 kwacha. You remember?
Yes.
Things like that. Fuel will be at 12 kwacha per petrol, that is, per liter. Yeah, but when he became president, he surrendered the sovereignty of thought to the International Monetary Fund. You see, so the International Monetary Fund now is dictating to him what he should do. It is the not Russia-Ukraine war. If you remember, Doctor, the price of fuel began to go up before the war started. The International Monetary Fund has said remove subsidies on fuel, remove subsidies on agriculture, remove subsidies on electricity. All these should be cost reflective. And yet, Europe, America, Britain, they subsidize, you see. As a matter of fact, America should be about, if I'm not mistaken, about $20–30 billion subsidies to agriculture. You understand me? But we're being told, remove. This is how the cost of production gets out of hand. This is how our goods become uncompetitive. This is how our industries are destroyed. So that we just become a consumer country, purchasing cheaper potatoes from abroad. Onions, potatoes, and chickens and all that. Because the guy rearing chickens here will not sell his chickens. The cost of rearing them is too high.
Yes.
Cheaper chickens will come from South Africa. You understand me? So SMEs will be destroyed. But you see, Dr. Hawazoka, this is how small countries like Zambia are destroyed. There are forces in the world that deliberately fuel inflation. They deliberately destroy the industrial base. They deliberately make credit expensive, the cost of borrowing too high. You understand me? They deliberately promote the outflow of dollars in your country so that you are wrecked. So as Zambians, we must be aware of these things, sir, and put measures in place to contend them. So there we are.
Is there nobody, the gentleman is saying, you know, people talk, you are talking.
Yes.
Why don't people listen?
We hope they will listen. This is why the power of putting somebody in office is with the people, you know. Now, if somebody that promised you this is not delivering, they're doing the opposite. The power is still with the people, you understand, to act. So President Hakainde Hichilema is doing the opposite, you see, and he is leaning too west, okay? And the Chinese have noticed, and they're not happy with him. You understand me? So Kakuo went to China. I pray that was a reconnaissance trip to pave the way for his own trip to China, to explain Zambia's position with reference to China. You heard Tumbeko Musogotwane saying, yes, they've allowed us to recruit. Oh, please, EU, talk to the IMF on our behalf. Groveling now as a country. But then Vicky Ford, the UK Minister for Africa, came and said, oh, there is one member delaying this 1.4 billion release. They didn't name the member. But that member is China. And the largest fraction of Zambia state is Chinese. $5.7 billion, about $6 billion. We can contract more debts, Dr. Hawazoka. You understand me? Cheaper debt to pay off the Euro bonds. But the West will not be happy, you know, because that is a leverage tool for them on us. So that when we go to the UN to vote, we vote against those countries they tell us to vote against. We shouldn't vote with our own conscience. You understand me? We should be non-aligned. We should neither look west nor east. Kwame Nkrumah, one of those founding fathers of the Organization of African Unity, said, let us look at ourselves. You understand me? So the Chinese are important in global economics. They can't be ignored.
Director, do you have any messages? Please, you can call us. We're still picking phone calls. Good evening, Doc. The majority of Zambians agree with me that late Arabi lived as a great and good former president. What advice would you give His Excellency Edgar Chagolungu for him to live a great life as a former president and be cherished even more than we cherished Arabi as former president? I would like to think that an endeavor would do Zambia a great deal to discuss the future of Zambia. We have people that have been around the globe to replicate such. Big Jere from PHI Lusaka. Hello there, my question goes to Dr. Banda. Why are you saying that we should first dismantle local debt than external ones? Don't you think that is dangerous to our economy? Good evening, panelists. Doctor, the issue of water sanitation, how would you like to tackle it, especially that you are so passionate about your country? In meeting freedom. Mr. Banda, personally, as Mr. Malata, I prefer peace to violence, which can destroy the country's economy like Ukraine and Russia. We have no peace in PF Malata. We had no peace in PF here. Doc, you speak well, but consistency, Doc, you speak well, but consistency is good. Even those coming behind you. Only those who stand firm doing the will of God will inherit the kingdom of God. Let your knowledge join UPNG, you add up value. Good evening, Dr. Banda. You are a presidential material, sir. And with PF Zambia, will bounce back. Don't even make a mistake joining UPNG, Magdalisa. Good evening, Doc and the panelists. For continuous sake, why can't UPNG use the PF Economic Recovery Plan as advised by UK thinkers? And as you are propounding, Albert Chingola. Good evening, Dr. C. Panda. You speak so well. My question is, of the terms you wrote us as PF, why didn't you implement those things you are saying? This one I answer. Dr. Banda has never been in government.
Yes, so Dr. Lungu, we must celebrate him, you know, every day of our lives. Because when the numbers came out, he peacefully handed over power to Hakainde Hichilema. Peacefully. Now that alone is a remarkable achievement by the man. That alone. And Hakainde Hichilema should set an example. Leave Dr. Lungu alone. Even him when he goes, because he will go anyway. Okay? We pray that it's later than sooner. You understand? Yeah, but he will go. We should leave him alone when he leaves office. He should be giving lectures, you know, Hakainde Hichilema Foundation and all that and things like that. You understand? Let's break this vicious cycle of taking Kenneth Kaunda to Mkobeko, Chiluba, you know, to court, and our former presidents, demonizing them. It's not easy to be president, okay? No. It's not easy. Look at war criminals like Tony Blair, right? George Bush. And it's not me who is saying that. Yes. It's the British themselves and the Americans, yes. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, but they are moving freely, are they not?
They are.
Tony came here, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, so Dr. Lungu, let's leave him alone. And let him give lectures. I hear he will soon be going to Zimbabwe to give a lecture there.
Oh.
Dr. Lungu.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And let him also do his foundation, you know, focusing on orphans and vulnerable people like that. His wife was learning to be a teacher of special kids with special needs. Yeah, so the foundation can incorporate all that in there. Okay? But let us leave him alone. Harassing his bodyguard, ADC, harassing his barberman. That's not Zambia. That's vindictiveness.
Why don't we learn as Zambia? I mean, you know me, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
UNIP officials were harassed. I remember people
So
that
let's
governors couldn't even invest. They
yeah,
disappeared for some time. MMG, it happened the same.
Yeah.
You know, Chiluba's people and Chiluba himself. Then,
Kaduka.
yes, for you to live peacefully, you have to die on the throne so that nobody comes.
We are not included in Nanjala. Manje in the power,
Why can't we? Because it seems with every cycle it's becoming more vicious.
Yeah, so
and
Hakainde
vicious.
Hichilema has this opportunity now to set the table afresh. Let the past be the past. Let's focus on economic recovery. You understand me? Look, Hakainde should FISP. You see, having 1 million farmers on FISP is more political than economic. We can have 1,000. You understand
and then
me?
feed the whole, yes.
Yes. We can have 1,000. And with the remainder, we can even graduate support to them, a smaller form of support, as outgrowers linked to the main farmers. And then Hakainde should list the key strategic crops: cashew nuts, cannabis, maize, soya, sunflower, groundnuts, wheat. When he goes to the Congo, he shouldn't just talk about beef. He should talk about markets for all these goods. Secure markets. Look, Egypt is starving today there. They live on bread. They get the bread, their wheat, from Russia and Ukraine. But with food sufficiency in Zambia, we can get a quota, an export quota to Egypt, to Namibia, to Malawi, to Mozambique, to places like that. Then the inflow of dollars will go up. The pressure on the kwacha will reduce. The cost of living will be bearable. But today, want no queer, Dr. Muliapa. No queer ngako watu. They're not happy with what Hakainde is doing. You see? And he's saying, oh, we are still feeding the cow. You can't get milk from stones. Osa kamba so yai. Ziko nilao wantu hao. Because you see, the minds of people form first 2 years, whether they should keep you or not. Now, if you torture them this year, next year, Zambia is not likely to recover from these shocks until much later. Their minds will form and they'll say, Baba, Nakambakuti, you fix the economy, but you have fixed us instead. So now we will fix you. Tikuchotsapoka. Achoke, achoka. Achoke, achoka. Maona no. But you see, the focus of Zambians is not to remove presidents. No. The focus is to improve their living standards. Access to water and sanitation. Access to food. Access to education. Housing. Zambia has a critical shortage of housing units. Over 4 million, 5 million housing units. Deficit.
But how are people going to build if they are grabbing houses?
Kairi iwe unadia. So manje ndife tikudia.
Because I was watching on social media, everybody's, whatever happens, there's a picture of a house on rent. They say, hey, this you need to be very careful. They are grabbing.
Or people can no longer advertise.
Yeah, can no longer just show things.
Yeah.
That's the mentality that we are building. So,
now
being an economist, I know slowly people just say, if you do this.
Yeah, so that damages business.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that affects incomes.
Yes.
You understand me? So our attitude is for poverty. We shouldn't do that. No. Let's value one another as Zambians. One Zambia, one nation. Land of work and unity. Enjoy. You understand me? Let's leave the ethos of our national song, the national anthem. You understand? That's the way it should be. This vindictiveness, it's a vicious cycle. Because you see, you know what? Hakainde will not be president forever. So when he leaves and he's still alive, the one that will be there will say, it's my turn now to throttle you. Let's focus on improving the living standards of the people, doctor. That's key. And somebody was talking about water. Chambishi, Lunsemfwa, Lukulu, Kalungwishi, Luyena, Kafue, Zambezi. All these are rivers, fresh water rivers. And the world is saying water is the new gold. And Zambia has water in abundance. We can begin to export more water than copper.
Maybe we need mindset change. You know, today I had people discussing about this person. He was so rich, he was keeping impalas. But an impala is 700 kwacha zawa.
A live impala.
A live impala is 700 kwacha.
Oh, right.
And you just like a goat. You don't
need to have a license.
Yes.
To keep it.
If you have a license, it's the license is also very cheap.
Right.
So, you know what I want to say? I think we need in Zambia to do mindset change, one, because look, you can keep goats, it's very good. But instead of us going to poach in the national parks, we can keep impalas or whatever we poach to go and eat.
Yeah.
Like they are keeping at Murungushi, at what? When you have excess, you sell to your neighbor. Just like that, because they'll come, they'll check.
You look for, if you want to know in Zambia, that this one is a foreigner, and this one is Zambia. Just go and see where there are retail outlets. In Chainda, in, Mulenga compound, wherever, in Mambova, in Livingstone, you find foreigners in retail outlets there. Go to where they are making blocks, you find foreigners there. Go to where they are mining, you find foreigners there. You understand me? But go to a mountain, you find Zambians there. When you go to a mountain, you find them there. They are praying for miracle money. You understand me? Remember you were talking about the mindset change? Yeah. So when you are rich in Chainda there, you are a Satanist. You got somebody's heart and you put it behind the counter there. If you ask a Zambian what a cash flow is, 9 out of 10 will tell you they don't know. When they come to you, doctor, they will ask you for nitandizeni nifunire nkono nchito, even when they are not qualified for anything. But you, because you've got a heart, you say, simnaganizeko chitako business, see? They'll say, oh, capital, I don't have it. You see that? But an idea, a brilliant idea, attracts capital.
As we wind up, where do you see Zambia in the next 10 years?
We will continue to struggle. We'll continue to struggle. Zambia is the grass. There is a bigger war going on between the East and the West. What's happening between Ukraine and Russia, that's just a battle. It's a small thing, okay? But there's a larger war between the East and the West. So Hakainde Hichilema needs to do a balancing act. His foreign policy should be premised on non-alignment. Zambia's interests faced. You understand me? So Vicky Ford, UK Minister for Africa, has got money. You understand me? This British Investment International. Remember the Commonwealth Development Corporation, which was there when we were privatizing that time.
Yes.
The money which they used to buy Chilanga Cement, to buy Zambia Sugar, to buy National Milling. Yeah, so there's money which she has to give to European companies or European businessmen to come and buy Ndeni, to buy Zesco, to buy these, the remaining SOEs, state-owned enterprises, pushing aside Chinese presence. So Western presence, Eastern presence, so this is the battleground. So we need to understand that. And we need strategic thinking. Okay, how do we benefit? We must be friends of the West, and we must be friends of the East, and enemies of none. focusing on our own emancipation, that is mental to start with, and physical and all that. So in the next, especially in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, there will be difficulties. There will be challenges. But you and me should continue to dialogue like this. I keep telling Hakainde that, look, there are many manifestos. Get all of them. Get your best brains in the party or in the country. Create a think tank to pick the best ideas in there and implement them for the people. Governments are in place to look after the people, end poverty, make goods and services affordable, fight income inequalities, quality of life should improve. That's the purpose of government. Now you see, Stumbeko Musogotwane's people, I saw Professor Sasa on television the other day saying that the question is, have livelihoods improved from August to today? This is what? This is April. The answer is no. The livelihoods, the living standards of citizens have deteriorated. They have worsened. But there you are, an economist. There is Noah with his ark, you know, and there is me. We are all citizens. We are not UPND, PF, we are not UNIP, we are citizens first. And this country belongs to all of us. As we conclude, street vendors, that is a business. Vending, legalize it, register them, give them uniforms, give them TP numbers. Every day they pay 1 kwacha tax through Airtel Money or Zone or whatever it is. If there are 1 million vendors on the database, the government will collect 1 million kwacha every day, which money can go to the income side of the budget for cushioning the people. Free education is not free, my friends. People are paying for this education through the nose. As a matter of fact, some of them are paying with their lives because GBV has gone up. Stress levels have gone up. Hypertension has gone up. Strokes are happening. People are dying. Suicide rates have gone up. The linkage between economy and health. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for having for coming here, and Mr. Noah for having me. I don't know, what are we discussing next week?
Next week we're going to be discussing village banking and the role it plays in economic growth, cheap capital, financial inclusion, and all that.
So next week, Commander Pafilimba will be talking about village banking. Join us same time, Thursday, 20:45 on Camnet TV. You are watching Economic Briefcase. Continue watching Camnet TV because Camnet TV is not just another channel. Bye-bye.